to Words of Wisdom Gyan Ganga show of Virat Hindustan Sangam. Today is our grand finale. We are having the 60th episode, a daily episode on our 4 social media channels of Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And Dr. Swamy has been daily chatting with our guests. And today is our important show because we have with us uh, Sri Ravi Shankar Gurudev ji. Namaste and welcome to our show. We seek your blessings for all our VHS members. And with this, I would like to remind our viewers that from tomorrow onwards, that is the month of June, we'll be having our weekly show at 8 p.m. on Sundays. We had 60 shows, and today the Diamond Jubilee episode with Gurudev's blessings. With this, I request Dr. Swamy to initiate this discussion with Gurudev ji. Dhanyavad.
Namaskar, Gurudev.
Namaskar. It's always a pleasure speaking to Subramanian Swamy ji.
Thank you. I'm also benefited a lot by coming to your ashram, listening to you, and seeing what a modern way an ancient system can be operated, and how you have developed so many branches there. And anyway, today all the audience wants me to ask a few questions, and then you may develop it as you feel free, and by 8:30 we will conclude.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, Guruji, you did your first Art of Living courses in 1983. And that was when you were only 27 years old.
82, in fact. 1982.
82, okay. And earlier you were associated with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and you went with him and lectured on transcendental meditation. May I ask for, on behalf of the audience as well as my own self, how do you distinguish the two schools in the sense of theology, not on organizational basis, but on theology? What is it that the Art of Living teaches which transcendental meditation doesn't, and vice versa?
Now, Maharshi was a great proponent of Vedic wisdom. He was very much interested in the Vedas, Puranas, Agamas. So he started, he has asked me and Dr. C. Anna Rao, who had just retired from Tirumala, Tirupati after serving there for 30 long years, and a couple of others to start this, what's called Dharma Pratishthan. So where we started training Pandits, because those days were very few Pandits were well trained in the Vedas. So my expertise was in the Vedic knowledge, Vedic wisdom. So and he was a great scientist as well. So from my young age, from I was 16, 17, when I was in touch with him, when I came in contact with him, he was such a great spiritual inspiration for one and all. He lived the knowledge. That was the thing. He was living the knowledge. And then he had scientific temper. He had the scientific temper. So we used to have many Veda and science conferences where Vedic Pandit and scientists would come, share the same stage. And we had this all over the country and abroad also. And I also went around the world lecturing on Vedic science and this. Along with Vedics and the practical experience of meditation and transcendental meditation using mantra and all that was something that really transformed lives of millions. Now with this Art of Living, we came, this Sudarshan Kriya has come as a gift to us. After 10 days of silence, then we started teaching this. This is on the breath. And of course, there is meditation. You go into deep into meditation. So, and these breathing techniques complemented, and it is also from same. I mean, you could trace the origin to our Vedas. In Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a shloka says, "Yes, Chandasam Vishabo Vishwarupa." The whole universe is nothing but chandas, means it is vibrations, it is frequencies, it's rhythms. Yes,
Yes.
Chandasam Rishabho Vishwarupa, Chandobhyo Amrita Sambhavuva. Through the rhythm, nectar is obtained.
Yes.
And it goes to explain how the body, Shariram me vicharshanam, jikva me madhumattama, how your body becomes very strong and unique, and your words become very sweet, and your whole being takes a big transformation. So, this Art of Living program, since I started teaching, this integrates life. It doesn't say, okay, your spiritual life is separate, social life is separate. No. It makes you live the wisdom, knowledge on a day-to-day basis.
Guruji, yes, go ahead. I've not interrupted you, no?
No. Go
Okay.
ahead.
You have held that science and spirituality are linked, and they are, they are compatible with each other, because the interest of both is the urge to learn and discover. You said in spirituality, you say, "Who am I?" and you explore, "Who am I?" And in science, you say, "What is this?" And then you find out its nature and so on. So the question I'm going to ask you is this. Your bhaktas whom I met in your huge conferences, and they came from all over the world. I was very, very surprised. Highly placed people, gave up wearing kurta pajama and sitting on the floor and hearing you. I asked them why they came, and they said that you taught them how to fight stress and become nonviolent. Now, there are occasions when you have spoken about the nonviolence of Mahatma Gandhi. But if you look at Ram and Krishna, Ramayana and Mahabharata, yes, they were nonviolent till the nonviolent didn't produce the result. And then ultimately they had to enter the realm of violence. So how do we draw a line in political circumstances between nonviolence, pursuing nonviolence, and violence based on your concepts?
So we must, non-violence is an attitude, it is not action as much. Now you are protecting a community, you are protecting a place, that is not violence. Self-defense is not violence. Self-defense comes under protection. Violence is when you are in rage, when you don't understand others' point of view, or when you are overthrown by your own emotion and you act. That is violence. Violence is with anger, hatred, an act done to destroy others. If an act, a policeman, you can't say that, tell policeman is violent unless they really, like what they happened in America, that was a violent case. It's an exceptional case. But a policeman trying to control a mob, putting tear gas, is not called violence. It is, they are doing their duty. Rama and Krishna did their duty. They were not violent. They didn't have anger, hatred towards anybody. This we must understand. Even Mahabharat Yudh, what Sri Krishna tells Arjuna as Yuddhasya Vigatas Jwara. Because if you fight with Jwara, that is violence. He says Yuddhasya Vigatas Jwara. Do your duty. That's what he says.
But Guruji, that's not what Mahatma Gandhi has defined. In fact, he at one stage, which I think he later retracted in a very indirect way, even said that the Jews should do non-violent satyagraha against Hitler. Yours is a much more in line with Rama and Krishna than Mahatma Gandhi. Would I be right in saying that?
Well, I don't comment on what others have said. They might have said it in their own manner, in their maybe at the time or whatever it is. So, but my opinion is very clear. Ahimsa is an attitude. When you are not angry, when you see the Parabrahman, when you see self in everybody, but you cannot take the same yardstick for a buffalo and a cow. भैंस को भी वही, भैंस के लिए तो लाठी दिखाना पड़ेगा, गाय के लिए हाय कहने से हट जाएगा. तो हमें इतना विवेक चाहिए. We need to have this much of vivek, understanding when to do what, but with good intention. See, a doctor takes the knife and cuts open the stomach. The action is same when you compare that with a dacoit. Dacoit also comes and puts a knife in the stomach of a person. But the attitude, intentions are different. A dacoit, you would call him, this is violence. And for a doctor, you wouldn't call him, you are being violent on somebody's body. So it's not the action, it is the intention which means.
Yeah. Guruji, you were very successful in Colombia. In fact, many people think that you did a miracle there, where one of the most violent drug-related, the terrorist-inclined bodies, I think it's called FCC or FAA or something like that. It had you had made them agree that nonviolence is the best way to, and brought about a lot of change in Colombia. You were also successful in Manipur, where the chief minister himself went on record, Biren Singh. I went on record to thank you for having created an atmosphere of peace in Manipur. And in fact, I think about 11 militant terrorist organizations laid down arms, according to newspaper reports that I saw, on August 15th, 2017. Am I right in that? Now, Guruji, and in fact, ULFA leader Anup Chetia, he himself said that you have done wonders in terms of bringing about peace in the area. Now, the question then is, when you went to Pakistan and you opened 2 art of living centers in Karachi and Islamabad, it was burned down by the people there, or at least some of the elements there. And again, you see, when you went to Iraq, the Yazidis, poor things, they've really suffered. You gave them a lot of solace, but the ISIS could not be brought around. So I ask you, Guruji, jihadi Islam and its violence, can you ever think of persuading them to the path of peace, or do you think we have to have military solutions for that?
Mr. Swamy, there are people who don't listen to anybody, who have deaf ears. And it is not so easy to convince them. But nevertheless, we must try. There are a lot of people who, when they hear sense, when they are approached with a very human understanding, their mind changes. See, this is all just a thought process that gets stuck in their mind, concepts. When concepts break, you find people are good, wonderful people are there. So we have seen many people who are in that jihadi mindset in Kashmir. They have all changed. They knew now. People who are, they understood real jihad is not going and destroying somebody. We must understand that the indoctrination, that some wrong indoctrination which has gone into people's mind, and if an opportunity is there, and we must try, and we should be hopeful how much we can convince them, make them understand, realize that we're all human beings. They must respect each other. Respecting each other is a basic human trend, and that if people can understand that, it makes a big difference.
Yes. Krishna offered 5 villages and Duryodhan spurned it. Then he said, now war is inevitable. When will you draw the line for us in the political world to say that with the violent activities in Kashmir or the violent activities in Iraq and other places of Afghanistan, there is a timeline after which you will say war is the only alternative. Is that possible?
I think, we cannot go for any negotiation, any talk, being weak. You have to go from the place of strength. And with strength, non-violence peace has more meaning. Second thing is, if you have a bridge, if you have a communication, if you know people, somehow if you can establish and touch that human card that every culprit is living with, even then this becomes a change, successful. Like, Angulimala was such a big terrorist, but when he stood in front of Buddha, his mind changed. So we must give this benefit of doubt that people can change. But we cannot think on that everybody will be like that, can't be naive at the same time. So we must protect our nation, our world from terror organization, terrorists. At the same time, one should establish some sort of communication and understand the other person's point of view also. This is what happened with FARC. When I offered to the president of Colombia, Mr. Santos, I would like to go and talk to them. He said, well, Gurudev, there is not much hope. He said they don't listen to anybody. So we find now, I'm sorry to say, the military is the only option, he said. I said, let me take a chance. So, I ventured, I took a chance to talk to them. If I had just heard him, he was not at all hopeful of any talks at all. But then when we ventured, and in the beginning they resisted, they said, we are not interested. We believe in Lenin and Marx principle. Karl Marx, we have nothing to do with you. Like, you are a spiritual leader, we don't even want to talk. But then slowly they came. In 3 days' time, they learned meditation. And then, at the end of the third day, they came on their own and announced unilateral ceasefire. So we need to do some experiments with all this. And we have to take that risk. Sometimes we'll be successful, sometimes we may not. I tried to do this in Sri Lanka as well.
Yes.
Second president Rajpaksha sent, asked me to mediate with Prabhakar, and Prabhakaran,
Yes.
he was very adamant. He believed more in his military power than in power of peace.
Yeah, he thought he was God himself. That's why. Yes. But Guruji, I want to put it to you that there has to be a structured thinking where a political leadership can say, I can't, there's no point in any negotiation. Now there's only one way, and that is by military action. Have you given any thought to where these? I mean, you are a spiritual leader. You are dealing with your foundation is a Hindu tradition, Hindu scriptures, Hindu Shruti literature, religious books. But there are religions which say my way or the highway. How do you talk to them? They are converting you, your people, using all kinds of means. Can you possibly reason with those people who think that if you don't follow my way, then you are possessed by the devil?
We have to reason with only them. Others are anyway, they are very broad minded. The challenge is only to break the hard nets of fanatic people who do not see the big picture because it was never presented to them that way. So I have more thrill in working with people, who do not agree with me than those who agree with me.
Yeah.
Those who agree with me, anyway, they agree. They are anyway wise. I have more, I like to take challenges and I like to talk with them. It's
But
more than what we say. It is something subtle, our vibration, our sincerity, our humanness. Love transforms people. I have seen it's the
yes.
love more than the head, it's the heart that touches the card in other person's life.
Well, that would be if, for instance, Shankaracharya went, Adi Shankara went from Kerala all the way to Kashmir, all the way doing Shastrat, persuading people, converting them, and so on. But that was possible because the Indic religions all allow for debate, discussion, raising questions on fundamentals, and so on. But there are religions which are in large numbers where it is blasphemy. It will be a violation fit for being executed if certain things you raised in terms of a discussion. It is not. It is beyond discussion. The
Now,
question, therefore, is within the framework of those religions where there is another point of view that is acceptable, that all paths lead to God. But when you say my way or the highway, I don't know whether the dialogue is possible. I mean, I'm asking as a question, doesn't mean I have followed your way, I've seen your results, I'm totally convinced. But there are lots of people we need to convince in our own ranks. So that's why I'm asking this question.
we must not put everybody on that. Basically, young people are very open minded. They are very open to learning. Not everybody is fanatic. Even many times, scholars who argue in their drawing room, they are different. On the stage, the scholars may argue something. See, there is genuine seeking that awakens in people's life at some time or other. So, when the genuine seeking has awoken, then people are looking for experiences, not just concepts. So, today, see, in 40 years ago, when I took yoga abroad, there were very few takers to it. Today, 2 billion people on the planet practice yoga, nearly one
Yes.
third. So, when people see the goodness in what we're talking, see, if we just talk about Ramayana and Mahabharata, it may not appeal to the world because they are not connected culturally to our Itihasas and Puranas. But if you take the practical wisdom of yoga, Vedanta, that's why Swami Vivekananda also, when
Yes.
he went to lecture, he took Vedanta because Vedanta is practical, useful, and that people from anywhere, from any culture, from any background, they adopt. So, and everybody is proud of their own motherland. We must understand. You go to Costa Rica, you go to Panama, people of Panama are very proud of their own land. So we cannot say to them, Bharat Bhumi is only Punya Bhumi, बाकी कोई पुण्य भूमि नहीं है.
Of
हम
course not.
क्या करेंगे? वसुंधरा, ये पूरी धरती पुण्य भूमि है. When
That's right.
Varaha Swami lifted the earth, he lifted the entire earth, all
That's right.
continent.
And it was a globe, not a flat land. Yes.
He lifted the whole globe. So, when scientific temper
Yes.
and authentic experience is what we share with people, everybody loves it. And it has deep sense, value, and reverence. Today, people respect India for yoga, for Ayurveda,
Yes.
for Bharatanatyam, for many cultural things, music, even bhajans.
Yes.
Uh,
Well, let me give Guruji one more example. Supreme held a constitutional bench judgment, Ismail Faruqi versus the Union of India, that mosque is not an essential part of Islamic religion. It can be shifted. Namaz, which is all that is done inside a mosque, can be read anywhere. Saudi Arabia regularly demolish temples, masjids, and build something else, sometimes newer masjids, or sometimes even buildings, apartment buildings, and so on. Turkey demolished almost 300 mosques so they could have a national highway. Qatar does the same thing. And in India, your Guruji, you were part of a very, very important experiment, and that is the birthplace of Rama is something I can't replicate. Whereas the mosque, which was there and demolished by a mob, could be built anywhere. And yet you had a very difficult time bringing all of the people on the board, and ultimately it had to be settled through the court. Wouldn't that prove my point that they, even on a fundamental issue like this, where one is saying my God was born here, and therefore I must have my temple which was pre-existing, and the other says no, where I read namaz, it doesn't matter where I read it, you can read it anywhere, even on the middle of a road, but still I will not allow you to rebuild a temple. Of course, the courts decided, and because of the atmosphere you created, there was no reaction afterwards. Everybody accepted the judgment. That is one good outcome of your mediation effort. But I will still say that they should have agreed to have left the place and said, "Give us another place to build a mosque," if they were of the view of justice.
Mr. Swami, you know, you were also part of it. 25 parties bringing them in one place was humongous task, and people have very different opinions. And given the time, you should know that the Sunni Waqf Board willingly, people, they all willingly gave up the right on that, and they accepted 5 acres of land somewhere else, which we have proposed to them. And you cannot say that they did not do it. They have come forward, and we really thank them all. You know, they all, they understood. There was a lot of bhaichara. There was a sense of respect. I have met so many imams. Not one of them said, no, we don't. I will oppose the mask. Maybe lawyers is a different thing, when the lawyers speak. But as far as the Dharma gurus in this country, they all were agreeing for that. They honored the sentiments of Hindus. Of course, it's always better things come as a judgment, because then a settlement can always be challenged by another few set of people. But it was good that some settlement was reached, and the Supreme Court acknowledged that settlement as well. And on those lines only, the
Yes.
judgment also came.
Yes. Correct.
It
Agree.
was a very good ending to ending. It brought of a it brought a very good end to the century old, several century old conflict. And you all played a very, very crucial role, as you also used to, bring about all the legal points, because you are someone who knows both sides very well. And actually, it was such a pleasure to work. I mean, we used to work from morning till night. Morning 8 o'clock, we'd start till night 9 o'clock. We would sit, listen to everybody, hear them out, and we came together to finally whatever has been agreed. So that has saved the, country from going, crazy.
One last question, Guruji, and then we will have 2-3 minutes for if any of my other colleagues want to ask a question. Krishna Janma Bhumi is also where Krishna was born, according to faith. Can you not, your Guruji, persuade them in a similar way not to go through an extended court proceedings? Same thing with Kashi Vishwanath, where Lord Shiva himself put the Jyotirling. So these two, out of the 40,000 that were demolished over 600 years, these two could be released, and then the whole matter can be kept declared closed.
I think there are many people want to do many different things. I am so occupied with bringing people inner peace and finding the inner light. तो उसी में है, हम अभी बहुत ज़्यादा व्यस्त हैं. Our youth is swinging between aggression and depression. The biggest issue in this time of corona is depression and nashebaji. Our Indian youth are getting drowned in drug and alcohol. And these are the big job that I had to do. I had to bring the whole world into one family. So my plate is too full to engage into any other work.
Accepted. Thank you very much. Any of you here?
No, Arvind will wind up.
गुरुजी, आपका बहुत हार्दिक आभार. आपने विराट हिंदुस्तान संगम के इस चैनल के इस कार्यक्रम में पधार कर हमारे कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ाई है. और हमारे दर्शकों का जो अभी तक हमें प्यार मिल रहा था, उसको कई गुना आपने उसमें श्री वृद्धि की है. हम आपके बहुत आभारी हैं. आप इस कार्यक्रम में आए और डॉक्टर सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी के जो प्रश्न थे उनका समुचित उत्तर दिया. हमारे दर्शकों की तरफ से और अपनी विराट हिंदुस्तान संगम की तरफ से हम आपके बहुत बहुत आभारी हैं. आपके पधारने का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Okay.
जय गुरुदेव.
It's 8:30, and as promised, we are not going any further than that.
बहुत अच्छा है. सबको नमस्कार. और आप लोग सब अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, करते रहिएगा. हमारी पुरानी संस्कृति है भारत की, इसकी खूबी को जनमानस तक पहुंचाना है और सब प्रेम से, सौहार्द से जीवन जिए. इतना ही कह के सबको प्रणाम.
प्रणाम. प्रणाम.
प्रणाम गुरुदेव जी.
हम अपने दर्शकों को बता दें कि आज हमारा 60वां एपिसोड था. इट वाज द 60th एपिसोड and blessed by none other than Shri Ravi Shankar ji. We have reached a milestone in success. We have reached 110 countries, and our impressions have crossed 40 million in the last 60 days. हम 4 करोड़ लोगों से अधिक इम्प्रेशन को छू चुके हैं। 110 देशों तक हमारी पहुंच है। लॉकडाउन के कारण हमने ये कार्यक्रम प्रारंभ किया था। We were not sure how long we will continue and when we will wind up. In fact, we are not winding up today. We are only making it from a daily program to a weekly program. After today, we'll be meeting every Sunday at 8 p.m. IST with Dr. Subramanian Swamy as our guest. And as we had in the past, several experts, either from Virat Hindustan Sangam family or from outside world, with those experts will be continuing to join our program with Dr. Subramanian Swamy, but the frequency will change from daily to weekly. For the huge success that our program has received, I must thank our mentor, Dr. Subramanian Swamy, whose support and whose affection is so much among the general public that people who are not even members of the VHS are enrolling themselves as members of the VHS after listening to his views every day on a different topic. So after Dr. Subramanian Swamy, next in the course of acknowledgement is Mr. Ramesh Swamy and Jagdish Shetty. I have said it earlier, and I have no hesitation in repeating it today, that this program could not have been possible without the help and assistance and guidance of Mr. Ramesh Swamy and Jagdish Shetty. These two deserve a big applause from all of us and a great contribution that they have made. A big thank you for both of them.
Thank you.
I also need to thank our technical team. It was led by Ashish Shetty and the other members who have contributed tremendously to the success of this program are Tejas Navalgund, Ishwar Iyer, Swaminathan, Gadgi Ramesh, Dr. Yash Bharadwaj, and Nataraj Shetty. The success of this program would not have been possible also because of numerous guests that we have got. We had guests from India, we had guests from outside, UK, US, Canada, and of course, different fields in India. We had journalists, we had economists, we had chartered accountants, and we had archaeologists, we had journalists, politicians, and all these people who joined our show in last 60 days have made our program a huge success, and I owe them a great thanks for all this. Viewers, I'm signing off now.
But who will thank Arvind Chaturvedi?
Sorry?
Who is going to thank Arvind Chaturvedi?
Yeah, I would thank him.
Viewers, signing off now with a plan to return on 7th of June. 7th of June at 8 p.m. IST, and every Sunday thereafter with very interesting topics, something which people are interested in, and as suggestions we are receiving through emails and tweets and all the different medium, we will incorporate those suggestions, and Dr. Swamy will be with you every Sunday after today. First meeting will be on 7th June. Thank you very much.
Okay.
We also thank Mr. Professor Arvind Chaturvedi for being every day, guiding us and asking very relevant questions. And he's very much part of our team. So we thank him for his participation and guidance. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Sabko namaskar. Jai Hind.
Do you have any closing remarks?
No, you've all done very well, and we have ventured into an area and achieved great success. It was a risky venture, but they were well, and we have established a new pathway for our organization. And I have to thank all of you, because I did nothing except come here and speak, whereas you did all the basic structural work, which is the most important part.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.